Well, hello, I'm that Kimberly, and this is
Blaise Spitaleri.
And we're here for another episode of Industry Celebrities and TAAEF.
Texas Apartment Association's Education Foundation.
Yes, it will be in the description. Room to Grow podcast series.
That is right. And what is the room to grow then?
Well, you know, that's going to be a topic we're going to cover.
We are going to cover that topic because it's basically letting you know about what we think it might be a little bit of a secret industry, but it's not a secret, and it's an amazing opportunity for so many different careers.
Absolutely.
And we're going to let you know some tips on how to get involved.
Absolutely.
And if you are involved, hearing stories about how people got involved.
Yes, and we're taking applications for hosts, so we're going to tell you about that, and we're also going to talk some more about be the
next Room to Grow ambassador.
Yes.
And it's going to be a great challenge.
Video challenge. So we're going to go through all that today. Well, thank you all very much for joining us and for our new podcast series. And we are, like Blaise said, we're going to talk about why we're doing this podcast.
So, Kimberly, I'm going to ask you I'm going to answer your question with a question.
Okay.
So why are we doing this podcast, Kimberly Scott?
Well, because we want to share the stories of others within our industry to the world via the World Wide Web and podcast, because all a podcast is a recording of television, radio, saved into an audio file and then put somewhere later for you to download it. Anyways, so we're going to do that and share people's stories so that we can tell the world that we need to be considered in advance, not the last thought of a place to have a career, a good career.
So maybe let's preface, I guess, before we just completely jump in and overwhelm you with a vast amount of information.
That was a lot.
Yeah, what the apartment industry is. And really it's comprised of a lot of different avenues, from the management side to your supplier partners.
Thank you for using that word.
And a lot of things in between.
Yes, absolutely, it is. I like to tell folks when I tell them I'm in the apartment business, especially if they live in an apartment, because I am a double agent. I am in the apartment industry and I am an apartment renter. And I like to tell people, you know, this room that we are sitting in, or, you know, if we're in their room, their apartment, everything you see is provided by somebody, a company,
it's
a person.
It's an industry somewhere.
Exactly. And when I say I'm going to a conference, I'm going there to meet all these people that all provide these services, as well as the apartment owners and managers.
That is a good definition.
Multifamily.
So think about your home you live in, and all of the amenities that come around it.
Is the industry.
This industry is life. That's why we think it's recession-proof, and it continuously grows because populations grow, cities grow.
Yep,
and
absolutely.
This is the room to grow right here. We're in a room, and we're about to continuously grow.
Yes, so we want to share the stories of everyone that are in the industry, either owner, operator, supplier. We want to share their stories because everybody's experience is different in their career, their paths, and how they got here, and hopes that others will consider us in advance of, say, if they don't want to go to college or they got out of college, they don't know what to do, that, you know, take us into consideration.
Yeah, I am one of the people that stumbled into this industry as well, and
really?
We can get to that when we walk down that path.
Awesome.
And we will walk down that path together.
Yes, we will. Absolutely. That'll be a segment here.
I also just wanted to add to that, if you know somebody that would be a tremendous guest on this program, and especially as you continue to listen,
tag them.
Put their name in the comments.
Please.
If you know somebody that would be a great host, because Kimberly and I can't do this all the time.
We can't. We are taking applications. TAAEF is taking applications for hosts, so that way we can sustain this podcast. You know, hopefully this will be a regular occurrence. We don't quite know when. We'll get back to you. We'll definitely advertise it like we did this last one. But we want this to be an ongoing, regular occurrence. And we cannot be everywhere. We have day jobs.
That's true.
But we do. We do, absolutely.
So tag their name if you think they want to put in an application to be a host. And if you think that they want to be both a host and a guest, tag them twice.
Yes. So we covered what Room to Grow is. We do need hosts, we need guests. This is an inclusive, not exclusive podcast. And
Kimberly, maybe you could start us off and tell us what you do for this great industry and how you got started in it.
So, you know, in my life, I've been in the industry 15 years, and I definitely stumbled into I'm apartment renter. I always say I wish I would have gotten in earlier. I started a company that we were the first to do video production across the United States, And, great 15 years, and then it sold, and I had to do something else, and it could not be video related. So I started podcasting.
Nice.
And so I podcast, whenever I can. I have industry celebrities, which was a practice just to get comfortable with speaking. Not everybody's as talented as you coming from radio. That will be a story that we'll share here in a second. And I was always behind the scenes, so I started asking, and I have friends in and out of the industry, so anybody that would sit and talk to me, I interviewed them to get practice at being able to start my second podcast, which was Caregiver Stories, which I interview authors and people that care for their loved ones with dementia, since my mom has dementia, early onset. And I wanted to share, to get people going and talking about what they're going to do if something happens to them. We don't want to get on that soapbox, but I really want
reality,
to build, I want to build awareness. And so that podcast came out of that. And then I do part-time for, right now, MSH. I'm a content strategist type of person, Yeah.
That's beautiful.
So it's, And now I get to do TAAEFs.
Yeah, and we do want to segue too into, just real quick.
Yes.
Shout out to Room to Grow campaign.
Yes.
www.roomtogrowtx.org.
Yes, it'll be in the show notes.
Yeah, so make sure you click on that link, and that will give you all the information, how to be a guest, how to apply for the video challenge contest.
Which we're going to go into detail here in a little just smidge.
And then also, hopefully, a hosting application. If not, just click on Becca's name.
Well, you can go there to find jobs in the industry. You can also take a quiz that will give you, find out what your best fit is. It's an amazing website with lots of information. And if you forget, again, what is the URL?
www.roomtogrowtx.org.
With his radio voice. Yes, so if you forget, just look in the show notes. There's a hashtag all over the place. Just put it into Google, and I'm pretty sure it's going to come up. I promise it will, yes. So thank you for keeping us on track. Now we're going to segue into...
Shiny pennies.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Blaise, how did you get into this industry?
I got into this industry, wow.
How long ago?
Yeah, I over 10 years, just over 10 years. I just had an anniversary of 10 years in this industry and 10 years in Texas. So I moved down from New York during the recession.
You're a New Yorker. Who's your favorite football team?
Unfortunately, it's the Jets.
It's not unfortunate.
It is unfortunate. Well, fortunate for Texans that love the Cowboys. Unfortunate for the fact that they are terrible.
Okay.
But
well, the Cowboys. I mean, I'm not a Cowboys fan, so that's why.
it's all right.
Okay. Okay. Anyways.
So in 2008, I started looking at moving down to Texas, and my wife and I did such in 2009.
Okay.
Came down. I had split, I guess, growing up careers.
Okay.
I had flooring, which was my father's business, and then I worked in entertainment. My brother's a musician, and I kind of went out on my own doing my own radio, television, engineering.
That's a diverse career.
And in 2003, I actually made a promise to myself I would never get back into the flooring industry. And then 2009, I moved down to Texas with my wife. And it's funny because we found out we were having a baby as soon as we got down here.
Congratulations.
Thank you. My daughter's now 9.
Awesome.
So right away, I was like, I got to find work.
Yeah.
And my wife found a flooring company that was creating a central office up in Carrollton, Texas, is where I started.
Okay.
And I went into a job fair that they had where I want to say it was probably 200 people interviewed that day. But I didn't see them all because I got there bright and early. So remember that.
Get there early, folks. Yes.
The cliche, early bird gets the worm.
It's not cliche, it's true. I have a story about that later. Go ahead.
And I got hired actually as a billing manager in the multifamily for a company that did flooring for the multifamily industry.
That's awesome.
And it moved me through from Dallas to Waco to Corpus Christi and out here to Houston.
Wait a minute, and that was all through a job fair?
And that was all through one job fair that led me into this industry.
Wow.
And I really didn't see the outside of the industry until I got actually to Central Texas.
Okay.
So that's when I actually got out from, if you're a billing manager.
Yeah, you don't get to do all the industry events and see the clients as much. You talk to them probably a lot.
You do, and you don't really talk to them about things that are positive, because nobody calls the billing department to say, you did a knock-up job on my bills. Thank you so much. So it was
okay. That
after
is
a couple
funny.
of years of that.
That's a different podcast or a different live episode. Go ahead.
And I think as a personality-wise, I'm generally like to bring out the best in people, and I want people to bring out the best. And I feel
like being in billing, you probably did a good job of collecting or explaining why something was billed the way it was billed in a nice, friendly, cheerful manner.
I was fresh out of New York, so I don't know how friendly I was at that time. I was definitely to the point.
That's awesome. Okay, good to know.
Yeah. So then that's how I got into the industry. And I really didn't know much about it until then. When we start getting involved in the multifamily outside of the office, it starts becoming really a community. And you start...
It's a big family, 6 degrees of separation.
Yeah. And the associations that are involved in this industry are fantastic too, because they have education programs so you can really learn, get in depth. And you mentioned like college before, and I'm still paying my student loans.
Me too!
I don't know if we should cheers for that.
Well, okay, so I say this because I'm trying to educate my niece and my nephew and my godchildren that if college is not for you or you are not for sure, get into multifamily, 1, 2, don't just directly think you need to go straight into college. If you're going to be a doctor, a lawyer, you're going to save the world, by whatever it is, then, do it. Yeah. And if you need college, then go get it. But if you don't do it just to do it, because I went to college just to make my mom happy. And proud, and I graduated.
Did it make her proud?
She was very proud and happy, absolutely. However,
mission accomplished.
Absolutely, because I deferred, because I didn't want to strap myself. I started a company, I would make payments as I could, and, I'm making my payments now, but it's like, so that's just lesson learned, folks. Okay, anyways.
And there are education opportunities within the association.
There are, absolutely. But seriously, you are 100% right. Like, that's the only reason I got on that soapbox, because if they get out of high school and they're not sure, come check us out. Because there is so much room to grow in this industry that a lot of the people that I have met in 15 years, they might, that are at the top or executive level, they started, from a porter to groundskeeper to a leasing manager or a leasing person on site, got educated, learned, moved their way up, and now are C-level without education, without college education.
And that is exactly what this Room to Grow campaign is all about too, because those are the type of stories that we need to hear about.
And we're going to be telling them, because I know some people, and if these people do not sign up, Rick Graff, Scott Wilder, Brad Williams, Tracy Hall, Allison Hall, I'm going to start reading the list. All the halls.
All the halls.
Ken Oldham. Let me go through all of it. We want to hear your story from, if you're new to the industry, we definitely want to hear how you got started, how you got recruited, why you're doing what you're doing, why you love what you do, all of it. We want to hear from you, and we want you to be on the podcast.
So again, we just want to reiterate, it's www.roomtogrowtx.org. This is the Texas Apartment Association's Education Foundation's Room to Grow campaign. If you have a story, visit there.
Right now, if you know somebody that needs to be in our industry or is looking for a new career, tag them in, on the replay, tag them right now.
If you have somebody that wants to be a guest on the show or think who's going to be a great guest on the show, or it's you that want to be a guest on the show, tag yourself.
Or wants to be a host, tag yourself here.
Or a host, taking applications.
Yes, yes, for sure. You can also message Becca via email or the Facebook, as my boyfriend likes to say. So we're getting a little excited there, because we are passionate. I feel like everybody in our industry is very passionate about our industry and telling others about our industry. Would you not say?
And especially the people that have really dedicated their entire careers to this industry. I think their stories, their personalities are just out of this world, and the more you put into it, another cliche, the more you put into it is really the more you get out of it. And I know coming in and going through a bunch of different markets, and then really just...
You've met a wide gamut of owner, operator, supplier, partners across Texas.
State of Texas, yeah.
Absolutely.
And it's a huge community. And then even when, we have the opportunities to get together at our expos and trade shows and different industry events, it is one big family, and it's full of love, and everybody supports each other. Even competitors in that nature, we all support each other.
We don't give away trade secrets, even though if you'd like to know how to podcast, I will tell you how to. It's not a trade secret. Google is your mother. But in our industry, we definitely collaborate. We play nice in the sandbox without giving away trade secrets. I mean, Google is your mother. You can find anything you want on Google. So yes, absolutely.
I've talked to people that came into this industry from other industries, and they were like, it's so weird how everybody gets along.
And everybody knows each other. Or somebody who knows somebody that worked with somebody, or that participated on an association, level with somebody, you name it. Traveled somewhere, got stuck in an airport with somebody. I have a couple of those stories.
And actually, speaking of travel, another great thing about this industry, if you you do get involved, it has the opportunity to travel.
Oh,
because
absolutely.
there's supplier partners across the nation, there's management companies across the nation.
Yep. So
you could start here and then say you want to move somewhere else, and if there's opportunity somewhere, there's going to be
transfer, or there's going to be another management company or supplier partner that will definitely pick you up. So the opportunities are endless. So now we're going to cover the
how to enter.
Yes, how to enter.
What are we trying to enter, Kimberly?
Be the next Room to Grow ambassador.
Excellent. So what does that mean?
Well, there is a Facebook page. It's an ad that's going around everywhere, and there's a website. It's wootbox.com. We're going to put it in the show notes and in the description. But we want to find the next ambassador for this Room to Grow video challenge. Sam Levasseur, shout out Sam Levasseur. He won it last year. And
congratulations.
Yes, all you have to do is grab your mobile device, and a little pro tip, you want to make sure that you record your video going this way, everyone.
Wide screen.
And don't do it this way, do it this way, because then it's easier to edit. And then you will just tell folks about, they say relax, smile, and press record, but just say your name, what you do, and how'd you find your job. Make it under 2 minutes if you can, please. That they would appreciate that. It'd be easier to get through all the applicants that way.
So how you got your job, how you've grown with your job, and what do you love most about your job?
Yes,
that's the key.
Yeah. All under 2 minutes. Can you do that?
I tell people I love most about my job is the community and the love from everybody and
you recommend us to others?
I recommend it to everybody.
Do you recruit people?
I do recruit people. I tell almost everybody that I meet that this is the greatest industry, and I wish I knew about it sooner.
Yeah. Anytime you're at a hotel, I always try to get, because hospitality, folks that are coming out of the military, that want to change up in careers, there's opportunity for so many that don't even realize that we're here.
Exactly. So if you are here and you want to do this campaign,
you're already in the multifamily.
And this started already. It's November 4th to Friday, December 6th. You have time to submit your video.
Yes.
So make sure you get your video in. You tell your story. We'll have more information too if you go to the website, theroomtogrowtx.org, and you submit your video at the Woo Box. We're going to put all that information in the notes.
Yes. We don't want to mess anything up, so we are going to put everything in there for you. Again, it does end December the 6th. Then there is a committee of finalists that will, judges will select the finalists. Then the finalist will then be selected and notified by January the 2nd.
Yeah, and then you get into
real
the heavy
voting.
Lifting of it all.
Ooh, yeah.
So that's going to go
Big
from
time.
January 4th to the 24th.
Okay.
That's going to be the voting opportunity. So you're going to politic a little bit.
Yeah.
Get your friends, your family, and
to go vote for you.
Yeah, and then the general public that doesn't know any of you, they're just going to vote based on the best video. So make sure that you tell your story, you do it with passion and enthusiasm, because I don't think anybody in this industry does things without passion and enthusiasm.
I agree.
This is one 100%. Of the most,
Let me tell you, let me show you the experience, because everybody's story is different. And we can all learn from each other's stories and experience. So you learn from others, for sure. The winner will be announced January 28th. Did you say that?
I did not.
Okay, good.
And what does the winner receive?
Oh,
the
you
winner,
tell us, Blaise.
I'm going to tell you what the winner receives. They receive, number one, this is the greatest one, is a professional video starring you and your story.
You and your story.
And by professional, I mean knock your socks off professional.
Yes.
So that's pretty exciting in itself. And then, 20 years down the road, you could show your kids, your grandkids.
You remember back when we used to use video recorders with our phones? I don't even know.
And then, who doesn't love the recognition?
Yeah.
The 2020.
Brand awareness, folks. That's what that's called. Brand awareness for you and your company.
Yeah, so at the opening season of the 2020 Texas Apartment Association's Education Conference.
Awesome.
Yeah, we'll premiere that video. So I remember last year was Sam had the video at the TAAEF conference, and it's a great moment.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thousands of industry friends from across the state are there,
and he was on stage, and they showed a video.
And the best part about that is when you win, entry and expense are paid for the 2020 TAA Education Conference.
Oh, wow, yes.
And that is huge, though.
Absolutely. That's absolutely.
I might even buy the winner lunch or dinner or something too. You look
Maybe
me
we'll
up.
think about that one.
We'll see. We'll see what kind of taste you have.
But no, that is great.
Yes.
Anyways.
And then you have a feature story in the Texas Apartments magazine.
Cool.
So that is also outstanding.
And you're featured on all their social media.
Yeah, and
because they have a lot of it.
Take
everyone.
that magazine and that article, you could frame it on your wall and show your kids and your grandkids. And then what else do we got? Statewide recognition within the apartment industry and your local associations and your organization that you work for.
Absolutely, 100%. So, ask Sam how amazing it was for him and his company. Just the overall experience is something that he would definitely recommend. Again, I know I'm speaking for Sam because, Yeah. But
so, make sure if you want to be a guest too on this program or a host on this program, put your name in the comments, reach out, and also visit www.roomtogrowtx.org. That's
very
O-R-G.
important. If you're looking for a career, a different career, you know somebody, send them there.
But again, just going back, this industry is wonderful. We have amazing career opportunities, education opportunities. You get to learn about a lot of legislation that goes on in the industry and throughout the state.
There's lots of places to volunteer.
Networking opportunities are endless. Absolutely. And at the end of the day, too, we do have some good parties every so often. So there is a social aspect.
There's a lot of dancing.
Yeah, there's a lot of dancing. There's a lot of music. We had there's cook-offs and
the chili cook-off.
So we also know we work very hard, and we also know how to have a good time as well.
Responsible. We have a responsible
and all of that stuff is usually for charities and things.
Yes, absolutely, raising money and very family-friendly oriented for sure.
So this is a great career opportunity for you, your friends, your family.
Yes. Tell your brothers, sisters, everybody, children coming out of high school, all of them. Send them our way, please.
Yeah.
If you don't know what you want to do when you grow up.
And we'll take the quiz too. On the roomtogrow.org. There's a quiz that could help maybe push you into a direction based on your personality, your needs, and your wants.
Absolutely, 100%. And again, if you're in the multifamily space already, if you want to be the next Room to Grow ambassador, get out your phone and go submit your video because we want to hear about it.
I remember last year watching a lot of those videos too, and I knew one of the finalists personally, and the stories blew me away. If you have one of those stories and you really think that you can make an impact and help not only yourself but others as well, make your video, submit it,
and then come and be on the podcast.
And absolutely,
be live with us.
Yes, come on the podcast and let's share our stories and share our industry. And not make it somewhat of a secret, I guess.
Yeah, it's not a secret. We're screaming from the rooftops now. 2020, it's on, people. It's on.
So you can come from backgrounds that you thought had nothing to do with this.
Yeah, from acting. That's where Sam came from.
Exactly. That's another
radio.
Yeah, radio. Yeah.
Yep.
So it's possible.
Yes, 100%. Well, we are going to wrap up. So, Blaise, I want to say thank you again for joining me and doing this, being so courageous and going live with me, keeping me on track.
It was an absolute pleasure. I would do this any day of the week.
Well, you were going to be my go-to until we get other hosts. So, hello, hostess people. We need you to apply. Otherwise, Blaise might be fired from his regular gig.
Too much of this might be. But,
it might be just me. You don't want that.
Yeah, no. and the more personalities that we can get, the better. Because I think pretty soon we would get pretty monotonous. We would turn into like Jack Lemmon and Walter Matthau.
I like to think that we're a little more creative. Give me some credit there.
I thought Jack. I'm saying eventually we're going to become like old.
No,
old
we would never because we have unicorn masks. No.
Be the unicorn.
Hey, what does it say? If you can't be yourself, be a unicorn, people. It is just true advice that everybody needs to roll with because that's just doing you or doing me. Unicorn is my spirit animal. Anyways, we're going to wrap up because we need to go. But thank you guys again. Thank you, Blaise.
Thank you, Kimberly.
And hopefully we will be here every week. We will let you know. And until then, remember, sharing is caring, and there is plenty room to grow in multifamily. Peace out, folks. Bye.